How's it going? In today's video, we're going to list 25 items. I want to show you how I list really fast. If you're having trouble listing, if it's taking you a long time, try to follow some of these steps. But please remember, I've listed thousands of items, so this might seem a little quick, but I can tell you if you implement some of these methods, you will be able to increase your speed. So we're going to get set up here and start the listings. All right, before we begin, you want to set up two eBay tabs. We have two tabs open here. The first one, you're going to want to select the store right here, so that you can actually get your store display. And the reason for that is we're gonna search our own store to find items. Now, if you have 0 items listed, this method's not gonna work. But if you have items that are similar to the ones that you're gonna be listing, this is how you wanna do it. The next tab, you'll just have it set up to like your drafts. And the ideal situation is the drafts, you'll be able to see the time they were listed, and they should be no more than like 2 minutes apart. I'm gonna voice out what I think about whenever I'm listing. Then I'm gonna set a timer up here so you guys can see about how long this takes. So the first item off to my right, it's going to be a long sleeve pearl snap shirt. So I put long pearl into my search results, and then I find a shirt that has long sleeve pearl snap pretty much in the title, and then I selected sell similar. First thing you want to do is remove all items, and then you want to drag and you want to pass over all the items that you have here. So as they're loading, I can already see off to the right, this is a Larry Mahan shirt. It's going to be a long sleeve pearl snap, and then we're going to delete the end here, and we're going to select medium. And this one is a black, and it's kind of like a floral geometric. If I'm not sure, I just put geometric, and then I put Control A or Command A in my case, and then C, so that I can have this copied because we're going to paste it later in the description. We go down and we select geometric, black. We want the custom SKU to be correct, and I use the 10 key because I found it to be the fastest. And then we go down and we're just making sure that everything transferred over, which sometimes they all do and sometimes they don't. We got Larry Mahan. This is a medium. We're going to scroll down. It is black. It's geometric, snap. And you can see here, I don't fill out a lot of these because I don't think they're important, and I actually clear ones if I'm not 100% sure. Next, we have the condition description. Now, the condition description, this is a standard text that I used. I used Text Blaze, which I will link below. But I put Command C, and that's going to populate my text blaze command. Or it's \C, not Command C, but \C. So it populates. And then if there was any flaw, I would type it in this first section here. We're going to copy and paste our title to the description. And this is similar to the text blaze as well. This is like a standard thing that's on every single listing. If I were to delete this, I do Command D, and that's going to populate this. The X's just show where the title needs to be. Moving down comes to pricing. Now this can be a difficult part if you're not sure what the price of the items are. I'm gonna go $24.99 plus shipping. Or I would go $29.99, but I think $24 is fair because I want these to sell fast. I have my shipping policy, which is the same on all items. And then I have my return settings. The return settings, which is the same on all items. So I'm gonna put save for later. And that's definitely gonna be the slowest one we do today. But as you can see here, it's listed, it says 8/17, which I don't know what date they're going off of, but it's actually 10 o'clock here. So that's one completed. And we're just going to right click the items that we had highlighted on the photos, and we're going to move to trash. The next one I have, it's an Ariat long sleeve button shirt. This one is going to be long button because we don't want to have the pearl snaps. But with long button, you're going to see I have tons listed, over 1,000. And there's another one. This one popped up as pearl snap, so not really sure why that one popped up, but we're gonna go with this Brooks Brothers. Sell similar once again. And the population of the web page is usually what takes the longest. So we got Ariat, and then we got the size, which it is a medium, and we're going blue, so we're gonna highlight that. Click Ariat here. Messed up on the 10 key over there. And we got Ariat, medium, blue, long sleeve, striped. This is solid. Button, regular, collared. And then right here, stand on front on that other shirt. We're just going to delete that and then copy paste here. And then this Ariat one, I think it's going to be $19.99. And then we're going to save. So we'll delete those photos out and we'll go to the next one. This next one is a Ralph Lauren. It's a classic fit. So I'm going to put classic because classic is one that takes a little bit of time. You saw regular on the last one, and regular on the last one means It's the regular size fitting. Now, when you switch to classic, it'll remove the size. And when it removes the size, it takes a minute. So if you save it without re-inputting the correct size, then it's going to be an error when you try to list. It's going to say like you're missing the size. This one is a blue plaid. So we're going to do blue plaid, copy, paste, or copy, highlight, copy, 2523. And then you can see here, this is actually another kind of error that I didn't see. So this is a big and tall, large, tall. So when you switch to regular, it's going to take just a second to repopulate. Blue plaid, cotton. Now cotton's not too important. It's very important if it's linen or silk, but if you're not sure, just leave it off. But this one is cotton. And then we're going to paste here. So if you can see here, this doesn't say large, tall. So that means there's a discrepancy in that last listing. And I think I'm going to change it out just because I want to correct it. It's a good way to sell similar and then like start noticing some of the items that are mistakes. So I'm going to go to revise listing on this one. And I guess this is going to take a little bit more time. So see, it is large, tall in the photo. So what we want to do is just change this to large, tall, or you can put LT. We're going to copy paste. And then we're just going to input that here to update this one. And I'm going to up the price because the price, it probably didn't sell. One, it's not a great shirt, but two, it was incorrect. So we're going to revise. And as it's revising, we're going to go back to our next one. This one here is a pearl snap. So instead of typing pearl again, I can just backspace because I have the mouse with like the back buttons on the side. And we can back all the way up to that pearl snap. So we want to go back to this pearl snap. And what I've noticed too is when I sell similar and I keep selecting the same item, for some reason, there's a likelihood that that's actually going to sell. That item getting clicked that many times for some reason seems like it does something to the algorithm and ends up making it sell. Not all the time, and it could just be like recency biased or, you know, just because you've noticed that item that it starts selling because you clicked on it. But I'm telling you, there is some correlation there. Just not exactly sure what it is. So this one has some stains. As you can see here, the stained photos in the second one, whenever Randy flipped the shirt over, because this is the order that she took them in, there was a stain on this back part. So I put the two stains next to each other, and then I put the back shirt, because if they look at this stain, they'll be like, well, where is it? And they'll be like, oh, it's right here on this back one. That's how I like to have these set up. And we're going to change to Lapco fire resistant. And when it's a fire resistant, shirt, stains are okay because those guys are working with welding and things like that, so it's not going to play that big a factor, but Lapco's not like the greatest. So for here, because we have stains, we'll put stains on front and back. And they can look at the photos to see exactly where that is. And for this one, I'm going to do $15.99, and I do $8.99 plus shipping on all of them, so we'll save for later. Next, we have another cinch shirt. This is a red geometric. So what we're going to do is we're going to forward press the button, and we're not going to select this one because it hasn't updated yet, and we don't really want to run into that issue that we had before, changing like the big and tall. We want these as seamless as possible and as similar as the ones that we have. But we're not going to go as far as like selecting a cinch shirt, just because all you would have to do is just delete this. I mean, it's really like not that much time. Medium red, and this one's going to be geometric. Highlight, copy, geometric, and you want this list faster. This is actually a great feature that they updated with. It's identifying our title, and it's getting most of the keywords correct. Now there's not a stain on this one, and we're going to highlight, and this one I'm going to go $24.99 because I don't see this one very often. That's kind of how I justify the pricing. I'll up it $4 or $5 just depending on if I've sold it before, if I know it's like more expensive or less expensive. And I'm going to go to this one now because I want to try to find one that doesn't have issues. A lot of these have issues though, and that's why they're priced so low. The price gets reduced like as the months go on. This is a Tommy Hilfiger. This is not a great shirt, but I got this one for free. Randy actually gave this one to me. It was her boyfriend's shirt that he wasn't wearing anymore. So for a free item, there's some money there, and it doesn't take much time to process. This is typically something that I do at night before I go to bed. I'll do all these listings in front of the computer, and I usually listen to podcasts like Joe Rogan or some comedians. Just something to kind of you know, take up my thoughts and stuff while I'm working, so that I don't really like feel like I'm working, you know, because this is pretty basic stuff. So for something like Tommy Hilfiger, I'm just gonna do $6.99 plus 8, and we're just gonna go with that. The next one here is a Ralph Lauren Performance. So I'm still kind of scrolling down because I want to get away from these Brooks Brothers. It just seems like that they have a lot of the stains on them, and I really get tired of like having to delete that. But regardless, it's like I said before, it's not like a whole lot of time. I think a big thing is just figuring out where all the buttons are and understanding the price of the items, because looking up price, whether you're in the thrift store or in front of the computer, takes up the most time. But these types of listings, it's just like second nature to me to just kind of go through them. But I figured I would show you guys on the channel just because I haven't done one of these in a while, and I think it can help a lot of people. If you're an everything store though, or you're selling a bunch of different items, this isn't going to work for you. It'll work to an extent, but there's something to be said about doing it this way. And because it's Performance Ralph Lauren, I always price them high and I just accept offers that come in. Next one here, this one's going to be a pearl snap flannel, actually. I think it's a flannel. Now, it's really hard to tell whenever you're looking at these from the photos if it's like flannel or not, and you may have to go and like actually look at the item if you have it on hand. But some items I know I only pick up if they are flannels. This one's a Lucky brand flannel, long sleeve, and this is a pearl snap, and it's going to be the red black plaid. All right, so we got flannel here. See, it's not multicolor because it's mainly red. If it's exactly like 2 colors, then you would go multicolor. Or if it's got like 3 colors, I usually do multicolor. And this was an XL, which, see, I missed the size here. That's not good. XL. Okay. So we're going to go red here, flannel, regular, and the point collar and all that stuff. You know, Western shirts are sometimes point collars. A lot of times they're just spread or button down. And this one I'm going to go $19.99. Another thing you might have noticed there, I do the power scroll. So this mouse is really good, and it has this power scroll feature where you can roll it up and it just keeps on rolling. That's a really good benefit. And this is a $90 mouse. So if you're spending most of your time on a computer, you want to buy a mouse that is, you know, worth it, because you don't want like a $5 mouse and having issues. So I put tall there because this is a Ralph Lauren XLT. So big and tall is, like I said, you have to select that button and it takes a while to change the size. It has to like kind of cycle through its paces. So you want to go with tall and big whenever you're selling similar. And then I'm going to do this one. It's yellow and blue, but it's mainly yellow. So we're going to do custom SKU and Ralph Lauren. And see all these different Ralph Laurens. Some of them are Polo Ralph Laurens. This one's just Ralph Lauren. And then we're going to go yellow here at the bottom. Blue, and this button down. I'm not sure if it's buttoned down, but I'm not going to take the time to look to see if it's buttoned down, because I really don't want to do that. And this one, I'm going to go kind of high on these. I'm pretty bullish when it comes to pricing up the Ralph Lauren's high. So we're at 9 so far. Now we got some jeans. Now this is going to be a little different. So for jeans, we're going to do highlight this. Jeez, my buttons aren't working. Okay, we're going to do men's jeans. We have 109. So this is a Levi, and it is button fly. So button fly is definitely like a few, you know, letters to type or whatever. So I like to copy the button fly ones. And because that could be a determining factor if someone buys it, button fly. Some people only like button flies. So this is Levi's 501 jeans. Now this is 32-36. Now the parentheses is the actual measurements of the short or the pants. Or so this one's actually a 30-34. And the reason I put this is because so many times I was getting returns, especially with women's jeans, which there's more returns in women's, I think, than men's. But this pretty much, it keeps all the questions at bay. People will be like, well, the tag size says this, but you wrote 30-34. So I put both. See how the inseam is 34, even though the size is 36? Because these shrink over time. And if it's a really good quality jean, they typically stay true to the tag size. Oh, I messed that up. Okay. They stay true to tag size. And Levi's, I need to look back at the market, but I'm going to start pricing them high again for the 501s, 560s. And then 527s have kind of fallen off a little bit. But that's just how we're going to go here. So the next one is a 511. Now, I don't know the exact like cut for 511 as far as if it is, what am I trying to say? If 511's like the slim leg, I'm not sure. I used to look that up and type it, but I'm not too concerned with it. Like, people know that are buying it what they want, so I just kind of go with it, you know, because this is all about speed. I mean, I sell fast, and I don't put too much effort into these because people, you know, they know what they're going to get. And sometimes I put denim here at the end, blue denim on some of them. And then the model, we can put the model there just because it was an easy click, 3332. And then I'm always looking at the photos here on the side because it's a much bigger screen than like scrolling back up. The idea is you don't want to scroll back up when you're doing these. You need to trust that when you type it in, it's correct the first time down, and that's really what increases the time that you do on these as well. Okay, so we got that one done. We got a couple more 501s coming up, which sometimes I would skip the 511 and go straight to the 501s because I already have, like, you know, the one selected that I want, and it's like pretty smooth. But honestly, it's all gravy. You just don't want too many like distractions. Like, you don't want to have to go to the bathroom when you're doing this. You don't want to have to take phone calls. You want to just sit here, knock all these out, and just be done with your listings and move on to your next task, whether it's sourcing, whether it's shipping, you know, anything like that. Now, this one is way off. This one is like 29 3/4 for the waist, and then it's 32.5, which you can do 32.5. But for a lot of guys, they don't want to like get confused by that kind of thing, so just kind of keep it basic. And then if it is this far off, I gotta scroll up here because there's a stain here. So stain on leg is what I'll put. And then I'm not really sure what Randy did with this photo, but I'm gonna put it here anyway. I think it's just the discoloration in the wash. But yeah, when it comes to these, you want to stay away if it's over 3 inches, you know, because that's really too far off, and it's gonna be a return most likely. But I'm just gonna put stain on leg, and I'm gonna put fit small. Sometimes I do that just so the person knows. But I feel like if someone searches Levi size, you know, 29, this one might come up because 29 is in the title, and that's why I do it. And then the person that does that, they may be like, hey, this is size weird, what size is it, you know, and you answer that question and maybe convert the sale. But ideally you want to stay away from those. They can be a bit problematic. So here's another 501. This is 3230. I think I paid $6 for all these too, which is a little high, but I'm okay with it. 3230. So we're gonna go 3230, and then this one's a 3130. So this one's pretty close to size. Levi's 501. And let's see, we got size here. 3230 was the tag, and then inseam was 30, and then this is 31. Now my friend Brian Roning, he makes templates, and the deal with the template is most of it's filled out already, and then when he puts the exact title, he's able to get most of those like sell faster boxes to pop up, and then he can just click it fast like that. I do think there's something to be said about that, because, you know, you don't have a chance of making a mistake by not editing correctly. Whenever I'm doing all these deletes on my previous titles, he doesn't have to deal with that. But what he does have to deal with is he has to type the whole title. And I'm not saying that takes like a long time, but I like it this way, and this is just how I've been doing it. Now this is a 3434 with the actual size of a, you know, 3433. This is a really good size, so I'm actually going to price this one higher because it is such a good size. I think 34-34 is one of the best sizes you can get because there's just a lot of guys out there that are that size. Okay, so that's that first batch. That's 14 done. Now this next one, I had a bunch of shoes in between, so I decided to do all the shoes separate because I just want to get all my shoes listed. And this next one's a women's jean. So we're going to see how many women's we have listed. It's only 15. We're going to go with this silver Suki. And I do delete some of these tabs because I think it speeds up the computer just a little bit. So this one's going to be silver Akio, I think. Akio bootcut. Jeans women's. And this is a size 18 and it says 33 leg. But I'm just going to put 18. We're going to go the skew. And if you look here, this is torn on leg. So we'll make sure to put torn on leg on there. Silver jeans. Boot cut, size 18. And then the inseam here. This is going to be 32.5. For women's, I do the halves because women's care a little bit more about the fit. So I will do the half on that. And we'll do torn on leg. I keep this as basic as possible with the descriptions because people look at photos. And I'm still doing $19.99 on these because you know, some cowgirl's going to buy this and not care about the cuts on there. Next, we have a pair of Madewell jeans. Madewell women's jeans. So I'm going to use the same listing because I already know what to expect whenever I click that listing first. And this one is kind of a bigger title. Let's see. This is going to be Madewell mid-rise kick out jeans. And this is a size 27. Madewell here, skew. And we got Madewell. And this boot cut, I don't know if it's boot cut. It looks boot cut. I'm going to leave it as boot cut. And I honestly don't think too much about that. Like, if it's wrong, whatever. I mean, they can return it, but it's pretty close. Like, I'm not an expert here. But, we're just going to go with that. Now, Randy took a closer picture of this hem. I wonder if she thought that this was like a manufactured one or like a hem, you know. You see how the stitches is a little off? I'm not entirely sure. So I'm mostly just going to delete that one. Because it did come out to like a pretty good inseam of 28. So we'll see. If it's altered and I messed up, I messed up. But we're going to price this a little modest at 24. All right, we got some chino shorts here. These are Under Armour, and it looks like the tag is missing. So if the tag is missing, I do put that in the listing. And I try to not pick it up if the tag's missing, but these must have been super cheap. So that's probably why I did it. And I just put in the actual size when the tag is missing, but then I note, you know, tag missing. So we're going to do Under Armour. And I put chino shorts. And this is a men's 36 beige. Got Under Armour here, beige, custom skew. The most important thing is the custom skew, because if you put the wrong skew, if you leave it at that, the fallback is you can look in the photos when you're pulling items and be like, oh snap, I can't find it. Oh, I took a photo of it. Or say it's a returned item and you didn't correct it properly. Then that'll also show the wrong skew. But if you have the photos, you can make it happen. So I'm going to put $15.99. That's pretty high for these. I may even do 12 because they've fallen off a little bit. But like I said, I probably paid like $2 for those. And we got we got a short sleeve button shirt. Okay, so I put short. That's what I needed. I was going to delete chino and put short button. That's typically what I do. Quicksilver. This one is a Quicksilver, so that's kind of cool. That's an old photo too. That's why it's got like some lights coming in from the window. We have a better photo setup, which somebody had asked if we can do like a video on the photo setup. So this one is a vintage one. I'm not sure how vintage it is, but it's a red black floral. And I think I paid $3 on this one. And it's mainly red, so we're gonna end up putting red for the color. It is a large. We got red here. Floral button, pockets. Pockets, I don't know why I put pockets. If it's got double pockets, sometimes I'll put it. And then right here, show more, we're gonna put the vintage. And then we're gonna do $19.99, I think. Because who knows? Maybe this is in style, maybe not. Now we got a Faherty. This is a 100% linen 2XL. So this is probably the best piece we've come across today. Other than the Ralph Lauren Performance was pretty good, but back to all these Brooks Brothers with stains on them and stuff. Brooks Brothers, I wouldn't spend too much money on them. If they're in good condition, if they got casual sizing and they got some plaid, they can do well. But I went pretty heavy on them at one point in time, and that's why I got a lot that aren't selling. So we'll do Faherty linen, which I used to say Faherty like an idiot. But now, yeah, we know it's called Faherty. So see, you want to get the linen on the material, and then if it says cotton in the material, like from the previous listing, you want to delete that cotton too. Button linen. Okay, so we're good. And there's no stains on this one. And this one, I'm going to list pretty high. I'm going to go like $39.99. And I paid $6 for that one, I know. So we got a Ralph Lauren coming up, and it's a Yarmouth. So Yarmouths, they're okay. I know I didn't pay much for this because they're just not that good. I mean, they really aren't. Super flooded category, but if it can make some money, it's going to make some, you know. Okay, losing my typing ability here. Okay, so we got that in, and then it is a 17.5. Very important to put 17.5 rather than putting like XL, even though that's what it equates to. Because some people that buy these shirts, they don't care if you think it's an XL or a large or whatever. They want to see 17.5. And I've learned that from like buyers like commenting and stuff, and they're like, "Hey man, like what size is this? You put XL, but it says 17.5." So anything we can do to reduce buyer questions and convert sales is what we're trying to do here. Copy paste, and then this one I'm gonna go low because it is the solid color pony and not the flesh pony. The flesh pony has like the skin color and stuff. If it's solid, they don't sell for as much money. This next one is a vintage Big Mac, not like the sandwich. This is a Big Mac from JCPenney's. So I don't come across these that often. I don't pick them up a lot. You'll see them at estate sales though sometimes. So we'll do Big Mac, and then this says, I don't know if I should put JCPenney. I guess I will. And it also says Pen Press, which I don't know if it's that is that important. And this one's a green one. It is no size on it. So with no size, it's a 24 pit to pit. So 24 pit to pit is going to be XL. You can look at size charts to figure that out. And sometimes though, it's not correct depending on like the style of the shirt and the brand of the shirt. So you got to be kind of careful with that. But like I said before, buyers understand what they're looking for a lot of times, so they're going to be able to figure it out. So we got this. And if you remember, we didn't put vintage. There we go. All right, so we got a couple Henleys coming up. And this one's a large tall. So what we're going to do is back here, we're going to put Henley tall, and hopefully we got one that's a tall that we can copy. Nope. So we'll do Henley long because I know I have short sleeve Henleys and long sleeve Henleys. And we're going to use this Tecovas one. So yeah, I'm always looking over to see like what I'm about to type. So this one has a stain. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to need a stain here. And we got Eddie Bauer. And we got large tall. So sometimes I do LT or I'll put large tall. It just depends. This one's TL. So I may just put large tall because TL is kind of confusing and it doesn't populate as well, I don't think. And we got a stain on front. So we custom SKU here. And this category might be incorrect too. That's not good. T-shirt. I'm gonna see. So this is gonna be casual but now t-shirt. I'm gonna leave it as t-shirt. I really don't know. We want big and tall here though. And you know, I'm not perfect at this selling game. Like, I'm doing well at it, but we're just doing what we can do, you know. And I don't expect much out of this shirt anyway, but I have to look into that about the large tall stuff. I just don't really want to mess with it. So I'm gonna put $6.99 because a lot of these thermal Henleys, people use this undershirts. So if you're out in the woods and you're camping and you got a stain on the front, that's not gonna like stop the sale, you know. Okay, and this one, I'm gonna check this Levi one to see if it's in the same t-shirt category as the other one, because like I said before, I'm not really sure. And I could have put thermal Henley. I think I could put thermal. This one's an LL Bean though. So LL Bean. And this one's just a blue. I'm not going to put thermal though. And yeah, this is under t-shirt as well. So I may have to look into that. I think it's correct. And this is just a regular large, no stains. So we're going to go maybe $12.99. And then we got one more here. And luckily, this is the exact same one. So when I have Randy doing these, I tell her like, hey, make sure that if it's a bunch of button-ups, make sure you do all those button-ups in a row. Because when it comes back to listing, you don't want to jump from button-up to jeans to shorts to all that stuff. So I'm going to use the same title I had before to save some time. And we're going to, let's see, list this. And again, $12.99. And hopefully the same buyer will buy both of these and just stock up. Okay, so that's all the photos I had. Looks like I had 24, so I made a little mistake there. And we're at 30 minutes. So 24 listings, 30 minutes. Not too bad. You know, a minute a listing is probably like the goal. And then if you can see here, it's got 817, 818, 820, 822, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 32, 34, 35, 37, 38, 39, 40, 42, 43, 45, 44, 45, 46. So there you have it, folks. That is how you would list 24 items in 30 minutes and 56 seconds. So 31 minutes, 24 items. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave some comments down below. Text Plays, it's a Google Chrome extension. Just Google Text Plays. You can set that up. It helps. But if you're learning to list fast, hopefully this video helped you out. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.